All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NYU Returns webinar on the Wasserman Center, Career Development and Student Employment. Please note that closed captioning is available for this session. My name is Caroline McCashman, and I'm a Bachelor's of Science candidate in Applied Psychology, class of 2022. I am also a Wasserman Career Ambassador, or WCA, and that's basically just a student ambassador in the Wasserman Center who's here to help students with their career development needs. We help out at Wasserman events. We do different career development workshops in conjunction with different student organizations and departments on campus, and help do on-site resume cover letter reviews and different things like that. With me today are Bethany Godso, Associate Vice President for Career and Leadership Development, Gracie Sarkisian, Senior Director of the Wasserman Center, and Doreen Pierre, Student Employment Manager. Thank you all for joining us. And can you each take a moment to describe your office and your roles?
Thank you so much, Caroline. Thank you for your work as a career ambassador at Wasserman and for doing this webinar today. So I'm Bethany Godso. As AVP, I oversee both the Wasserman Center for Career Development and the NYU Leadership Initiative. At Wasserman, we're a team of 53 professionals across 3 offices located in Union Square, Brooklyn, and at the School of Professional Studies that are really dedicated to preparing our students and alumni to thrive in their lives beyond NYU. Our mission at the Wasserman Center is to empower our students and alumni, who we serve for life, to succeed at every stage of their career by creating opportunities for them to develop the skills, experiences, and connections they need to thrive in a dynamic global economy. As we pursue that mission, one of the things that's really most important to me and to the team as a whole is to ensure that all students have opportunities to get the support they need to define their path and successfully pursue it. We used a network-based strategy to make that happen. Rather than rely on our team alone to deliver career services to all our students across NYU, we work with faculty, advisors, student affairs colleagues, school-based career services, staff, alumni, and employers, very importantly, to foster networks of support and opportunity for our students.
Hi, thank you, Caroline, for having us. I'm Gracie Sarkisian. I'm the Senior Director of the Wasserman Center, and I oversee undergraduate career development and employer engagement. Our team is committed to increasing access to opportunities and ensuring students are career ready when they leave NYU. And we do this 2 ways. We do this by working with students and also by working with employers. We're here to help students at every stage of their career development. So whether they're just starting to explore majors or they know exactly what they want to do, we want to equip them to be successful throughout their careers. We care about their first job, but we want them to be successful throughout. Our career development framework includes 3 stages: explore, prepare, connect. Students can assess where they are in the process and identify which programs, services, resources best meet their needs. It also includes 11 Violet Ready skills that we teach through our offerings. These are some of the top skills employers seek in candidates and help our students stand out even as the world of work continues to evolve. So in addition to preparing students, we're also cultivating relationships with employers to ensure that they hire our students year after year. Through our Hire Violet campaign, we partner with alumni and employers to make sure we're able to increase opportunities for students and graduates across diverse industries and around the world.
Let me unmute. Hi, my name is Doreen Pierre, everyone, and I am the Student Employment Manager at the Wasserman Center. So the scope of my team includes partnering with departments to ensure that on-campus jobs are posted, helping students navigate Handshake to find those positions, and working with students to complete their onboarding paperwork once they're hired. So there's a team of about 4 or 5 of us working on that. Additionally, I work with NYU staff, supervisors, and students through our workshops focused around career readiness and professional development. If you have any questions about on-campus employment beyond this webinar, feel free to reach out to our alias at oncampusemplorment@nyu.edu.
Okay, well, thank you all. And I'd like to remind our viewers that we'll be starting off with some questions that were submitted in advance. and we will also be taking questions from the audience. So if you have a question, please click on the Q&A button. And we'd like to remind you that we will only be answering questions about career development and student employment today. If you're looking for answers about other topics, please check the NYU Returns website for webinars that we have already hosted. Okay, so let's get started. So the first pre-submitted question that we have is, describe for us the last 6 months. What changes have you made as a result of COVID-19, and have the center's priorities shifted?
So I'll start us off with this question. And certainly a lot has changed in our world over the last 6 months. But I would say that our overarching goal of expanding access to critical career resources and services has not changed. And our primary strategy of working through networks also remains central to what we're doing. In fact, many of the efforts we had underway already have become even more critical in the age of COVID. In particular, the Hire Violet campaign that Gracie mentioned, that's our global employer engagement campaign, and Violet Ready, which is our new online platform for knowledge sharing, networking, and mentorship among NYU alumni and students. We've just launched that this spring and summer, and incoming students will gain access as the semester starts. I would say 2 things have changed on a tactical level. First, our delivery model, and second, the content focus of some of our programming. So as of March 13th, we moved everything online, and we've actually seen really good results so far. We survey our students and alumni in terms of their satisfaction with coaching, and that outcome has not changed at all in the remote environment. Engagement in many of our programs actually has increased, particularly among our graduate students. We've also increased access to kind of grab and go resources, including an extensive library of new online modules that can be used asynchronously, as well as a new podcast. So we're really trying to make access to the resources students and alumni need available when they need it from wherever they are in the world. This coming academic year, our employer programming will be a little different because it'll be remote. Instead of large-scale in-person career fairs, we're planning 2 virtual career weeks featuring a diverse range of employers and 6 industry expos to connect students directly to internship and full-time job opportunities. So the opportunities to connect will not change. It's the way in which we'll facilitate those. In terms of the content, we are focused on the unique challenges of job searching in the remote environment and in an economic downturn. We've designed new programs like Your Career in COVID-19, our College to Career Success series, and a Summer Success program, and created new online guides, including a job search strategy for seniors and job search strategy for graduate students, as well as a guide to building those Violet Ready skills that Gracie mentioned in her introduction, and really helping students understand how they can continue to build skills even if they don't have a formal internship, helping them to connect to a broader range of experiential opportunities to build skills, experiences, and connections. We've also expanded our blog posts, and I think that we're going to put the link to that blog in the chat. Our blog now features links to external articles and resources on job searching in the time of coronavirus, and importantly, a live list of employers who are hiring right now. We've been running remote programs all summer long, and we've also been training our team to design engaging, high-impact remote learning opportunities for our students. And we'll continue to run those programs through the fall, and our coaches remain available to meet with students to provide individual guidance one-on-one through Zoom.
Okay, thank you. So our next question is, to that end, we recognize that it's a really challenging time for our economy and particularly new graduates. Unemployment stands at 10.2%. So what recommendations do you have for new students who are looking ahead to an uncertain future?
Yeah, Caroline, I know this is a real concern for students as well as their parents. And so I'm going to start us off, and then I'm going to turn it over to Gracie, whose team is in daily contact with employers and who can speak a little bit more to the employer perspective. So I think the first thing that I want to say is that it's really important to remember that NYU graduates consistently achieve better career outcomes than their peers do nationally. NYU students are among the most competitive candidates across industries because of the depth of their real world experience, the diversity of their networks that they build while at NYU, and the strengths of their job ready skills. When we talk to employers, they consistently say they love to hire NYU students because NYU students arrive ready to work. And they're able to navigate the world effectively. So although it is a challenging time, we need to remember that it's challenging for everyone, and NYU students still stand out in this context. As hiring slows, it's critical that students focus on their development in the three areas we keep talking about: experience, networks, and skills, and that they do not pause their job search if they're actively looking for work right now. It's important to remember that even in a recession, people do get hired. And if you're going to be among them and be well positioned when the economy turns around, you have to continue developing yourself and pursuing your search. That said, it does require some additional patience and persistence, to be sure. So, we advise job searchers to think expansively about the roles and industries where their skills would be valued. Losses in this economy are pretty uneven. And so it's important to look to how your skills translate to those industries that are continuing to hire. And again, our blog features employers who are continuing to hire. Our employers are posting in Handshake, and our coaches are really well versed in which industries are seeing growth while others are seeing decline. We're also coaching students to be creative when conducting their job search. This means really being open to a variety of industries, job functions, and locations. If I could say one thing to students who are thinking about their career prospects, it would be to really try to take a long view. It's very rare that the job one has right after graduation sets the course for your entire career. Many of us have a bit of a winding path, and your ability to really demonstrate adaptability over time will set you apart from other candidates. Gracie, at this point, can you share a little more on this front from the employer's perspective? Tell us what you're hearing from them.
Yeah, absolutely. So this has been a challenging time for all of us. Many of us don't know what to expect, and early on, particularly in March, employers were in the same boat. They were figuring things out as we were figuring things out. They were adapting their recruitment programs as we were adapting our career programs and our coaching and moving everything into the virtual space. What I am consistently hearing over and over from employers is they remain committed to engaging with students, to connecting with students, and they're taking advantage of the virtual space in order to do that. So many of our employers are able to do more now than they were able to do in the past because perhaps they were based in Hong Kong and the time zone made it a little bit different to engage with our students. Well, now that an event is virtual, they're able to participate. And the same is true for many of our students. So if you're a student and you are studying remotely this semester, you'll have access to so many employers because they're engaging with us virtually. So I will tell you the the eagerness is there. They're still recruiting our students. Bethany mentioned that we're replacing our large fairs with a virtual career week. Our first one is the week of September 21st. And it is a week of career expos, which are virtual style career fairs, opportunities to meet with employers, as well as employer skill building workshops and networking events. So employers are eager and ready to engage our students. NYU students have a phenomenal reputation among our employer community. And I'll brag a little bit about our office and our team. Our employers really enjoy working with us. They have a seamless experience when they come to recruit NYU students. So the combination between our team and the amazing students that we have will continue to keep our recruiters coming back to NYU. And like Bethany said, things feel a little bit inconsistent across industries. Things will change, but our coaches are here to prepare our students. And one of the things I think we do best is helping students think about their skills and articulate the value they bring to employers. So we really want to work with you now more than ever to help you identify what you have to bring and how you can talk to employers in a way that's really exciting to them. So please, please, please get to know us and take advantage of our services. In any economy, I promise you you'll be better off.
Okay, thank you, Bethany and Gracie. The next question is, what are you doing to ensure that we don't exacerbate disparate impact on the most vulnerable communities within NYU?
So again, I'll get started, and then Gracie's going to share some additional details. So Wasserman has a number of programs to support students from underrepresented groups who we recognize may have less access to professional networks and information about career options when they enter NYU, and who may encounter, additional obstacles and challenges as they navigate the job search process. Gracie's going to talk about those programs in more detail in a moment. I just wanted to first say that this summer, our team has really decided to double down on our commitment to this work, with the goal of moving beyond those particular programs we run and really embedding an equity lens into everything that we do. We identified advancing inclusion and equity as one of our key strategic priorities for the year, along with global connections, experiential learning, and employer engagement. So this means that each of our teams, whether it's the undergrad team, grad team, employer engagement, student employment, each of those teams and each of the individuals on our team, their goals for the year have inclusion, diversity, equity, and belonging work included in them. Some of the things that we're doing across the center include auditing our resources and programs to ensure that they're fully accessible to all of our students, particularly those who are most vulnerable, rolling out new efforts to advocate for greater equity and inclusion in our employers' practices as well, because we know that we have their ear, and we want to be able to advocate for our students when we're working with these employers. So Gracie, I can turn it over to you to talk a little bit more about our specific diversity programming.
Sure. So we always start with partnerships. So through partnerships with OGI and CMAP, opportunities programs, Moses Center for Student Accessibility, we're able to really understand the unique needs of our students and to design offerings that are going to meet those needs. 3 award-winning programs that I want to talk a little bit about now are DICP, which is our Diversity, Internship, and Career Preparation Program. This program is designed to prepare and promote historically underrepresented students. DIC helps students develop job search and networking skills, improve their resume, cover letters, and other job search materials, and builds connections with employers so that they're internship and career ready when they're done with the program. Another program that I love because I helped create it many years ago is our First Class program. This is our professional development and mentorship program for first-generation college students. Students participate in a series of workshops throughout the academic year. They're paired with a professional mentor as well as a career coach that's really walking alongside them throughout their career journey. And the third program I'll highlight is our International Student Success Series, where we offer individualized coaching at Student Link, which is where our Office of Global Services or Global Scholars is located. This semester, obviously, we'll be doing that virtually, as well as career development programs on issues of particular concern to graduate students. We would host them at the Kimmel Center, where our International Student Center is located. Again, this semester, those will be offered virtually, but we're really trying to get in student spaces, understand their needs, and be available to them for both group support and one-on-one coaching.
Thank you. So the next question, kind of along the same vein in terms of resources, what kind of resources does the Wasserman Center offer, and how do students access them?
That is a great question. So as Bethany mentioned, we take a networked approach. So we are working with academic partners and faculty and administrators to make sure we're training folks across campus to have conversations around career readiness with students, so that thinking about your career is not something you do only when you come to the Career Center. It's something that is a part of your entire academic experience at NYU. In addition to these partnerships, our office provides individualized career coaching for students throughout their time at NYU and to alumni as well. Career education workshops, panels, networking and skill building events, boot camps. Each semester we host approximately 100 of these career education events. So we're supporting students across industries, across topics. Employer-led events, so employers come and do recruiting events in order to talk about the roles of their organization and tell students about opportunities, but also skill building events. We have employers help us that teach students the skills they need to be successful at their organizations. And then we have a robust on-campus recruitment program. So when we're together in person, employers come to campus to recruit students for opportunities. That happens virtually now. Something is wrong with my screen, I apologize. And career fairs, that again will be virtual this year, but another opportunity for students and employers to engage with each other. Students can use Handshake to access all of these opportunities. So Handshake is our career management platform. You can log on to sign up for events, to schedule a career coaching appointment, to apply for full-time jobs, part-time jobs, internships, and on-campus positions as well.
Thank you, Gracie. And yes, I definitely have to second that you can start going to the Wasserman Center at any point in your college career, and like we encourage you to start early. So
with our staff, I'm sorry to cut you off, Carla, but you can work with our staff, but you can also work with peer educators like Caroline, who's working with students and helping us deliver a lot of the work that we do. So work with us, but also take advantage of the great kind of peer-to-peer learning that is happening across the university.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so the next question is, how can students studying outside of New York City take advantage of these resources? Kind of along the same vein.
Yeah, absolutely. Students outside of out of New York City can schedule a virtual coaching appointment, can participate in any of our events or workshops, which are being offered virtually this fall, and can access opportunities by applying to jobs and internships. We also have several career resources available on Handshake, and these are accessible to students, again, no matter where they are in the world. So our undergraduate students can use VMOC to refine their resume. All of our students can use Big Interview, which is a tool that allows you to practice interviewing using a webcam through your computer. Students can research different industries through Vault Guides. They can utilize Going Global to learn about preparing for opportunities outside the United States. They can even use Career Explorer to take a career assessment and begin exploring opportunities across different fields and industries. So all of these resources and more are available through Handshake.
Thank you. So now kind of pivoting on to the topic of on-campus jobs. Will there be on-campus jobs available for students in the fall?
So yes, so the NYU hiring pause has been lifted since early summer 2020. So student hiring has already begun. So we'll continue into the fall based on departmental budget capacities. Departments don't have to seek approval to post on-campus positions as it was before. They just can go by their departmental budget. So opportunities for work will be a mix of remote and in-person opportunities, and students who are living anywhere within the US will be eligible to work on campus. So we'll be working with departments who are posting their jobs to make sure that they're very clear of if the position will be remote or in person and things like that.
Got it. Thank you. And if a student wants a campus job in the fall, what should they do?
Awesome. So most on-campus opportunities are posted within Handshake. All incoming students should have received access to this platform within the last week. Students who are interested in working on campus can do a filtered search for on-campus opportunities on Handshake and should apply to as many postings as they are interested in and or qualified for. So job postings will again denote whether the position is expected to be in person or remote. And additionally, students can basically work with their network within their academic departments for opportunities to work as well.
Thank you. And then also, this was kind of mentioned, but if a student wants, or I'm sorry, when will on-campus student positions be posted for the fall?
Yes, so as I mentioned before, so they will be posted as they are available. So hiring has already started. So as soon as those positions are filled, that's when hiring will end. So it's highly competitive. So if you are applying for a position, make sure you're getting in there early and applying now and seeing what opportunities are available.
Thank you. And then lastly, how does work study work? Is it available for this semester? And are there remote work study positions available?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are two types of on-campus positions, federal work study and non-federal work study. For work study positions, students are given a balance, usually around $3,000 for the year in their financial aid package that departments can use to pay 75% of their salary. The other 25% of the salary cost is taken on by that department. For non-federal work study positions, the department takes on the entirety of the cost of the salary. There are definitely work study positions available for the fall. And again, the job postings within Handshake will let students know whether that position requires federal work study or not, or if they'll take both non-federal work study or work study students for that position.
Thank you. Now kind of shifting gears to international students. Will international students be able to work on campus during fall 2020? And then the second part of the question is, since international students do not get financial aid, on-campus jobs are a lifeline for us. So kind of speaking to that.
Yes, so the only restriction this year, or I will say for the semester or currently, is that students can only work if they're residing within the US. So whether they're international or domestic, they must be residing within the US to work. So yes, international students can work on campus as long as they're residing here in the US. And that's anywhere within the US.
Thank you. The next question is, as an incoming undergraduate student, how can we get involved in research, specifically if you can comment to economics and politics?
So I think that's for me, right? Yeah, so you can look on Handshake for job postings. And again, you should be working with your academic department to see if there are research related roles available within your department to look at.
I'll just add that you can always connect with a faculty member in your department. Oftentimes they're doing research that might align with your interest and they don't have a formal research opportunity, so it wouldn't be posted. So it's always great to make sure you're connecting with your academic department as well as faculty members. Also schedule a career coaching appointment. our coaches are working closely with the academic departments and oftentimes are aware of folks you can be in touch with or opportunities that might exist. They'll also talk through your specific interests and help you identify a few next steps. And as Doreen mentioned, explore postings on Handshakes. There's often opportunities at NGOs and think tanks where you'll have an opportunity to participate in research. One final thing I add is it's not so connected to the Wasserman Center, but many of the schools offer research grants for students. So make sure you check with your academic department and see if they have something that's related to your interest.
Thank you. And I'd also like to second that you can always ask your academic advisor. I know in my department, I talked with my academic advisor about research and they were really knowledgeable about that subject as well. So the next question is, if we are studying remotely, will we be able to do virtual on-campus jobs? That was kind of already mentioned, but I don't know if anyone wants to add anything to that.
Wait, repeat that question one more time, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's if we are studying remotely, will we be able to do virtual on-campus jobs?
Yes, so as long as you're residing within the US, that is perfectly fine.
Perfect, thank you for the clarification. And then the final question that we have that was already asked was, are international grad workers allowed to work from outside the US? Will they be compensated normally as if working in NYC or on campus? I think that was already mentioned that you have to be in the US. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Excellent.
I just wanted to mention that that's not because NYU wants people living in the United States to be working, you know, in order to do their remote work, but this has to do with broader tax implications or labor laws related to people working in the US or outside the US and doing that work remotely. So just to be clear that this isn't something that NYU has sort of decided is a rule, but rather, you know, comes from a larger framework that within which we need to work.
Bethany, I'd also love to share another resource. We have something called the Wasserman Center Internship Grant. So if you are in a non-paying internship this fall semester in a nonprofit, government, the arts, or an industry that does not traditionally pay, students are eligible to apply to a $1,000 grant. It is competitive, but it's another resource to think about if you were planning to work on campus and now you can't have an on-campus job, but are interning instead. And if you're interning remotely, that's absolutely fine. So please, all that information comes out in our newsletter. So if you're not signed up for the Wasserman Center newsletter, please do that. That's the best way to get the most up-to-date information about our programs, events, services, and resources.
Great point, Gracie. And you can, you're eligible for that grant no matter where in the world you're completing your internship.
Okay, so it looks like we have gone through all the questions that we have time for. I know that some other questions were submitted in the Q&A, and a lot of those were fairly specific to the person asking, and so we will be following up with you regarding those more specific questions. I'd like to thank all of our speakers for joining us today and ask if any of our speakers have any final thoughts to share with the group.
I'll just say that we have a wonderful team that's really committed to supporting our students. So if you're thinking about maybe reaching out to the Wasserman Center or maybe scheduling a coaching appointment or maybe coming to one of our events, please just do it. I promise you won't regret it. And the sooner you work with us, you know, the more advocates you have in your corner. We want to be part of that network of support that Bethany mentioned.
I would completely second what Gracie has just said. And simply add that we meet our students where they are. You don't have to have an idea of what you want to do post-graduation. You don't have to have an organized resume to come in and see us. There's no prerequisite except that you are enrolled at NYU. So we'll meet you where you are and help you explore if that's where you're at. We'll help you get ready if that's where you're at, and we'll help you connect with employers or actually apply for jobs, practice interviewing, etc. if that's where you're at.
Okay, well, oh, sorry, Doreen, did you want to say?
I'm just going to say again, if there's any other questions about on-campus employment, whether you're staff or student within this webinar, just contact us at our alias, which should have been shared in the chat, I think, earlier.
Okay, well, thank you so much to all of our speakers for joining us today. And I'd also like to thank everyone who was able to log on and participate. This webinar will be posted on the NYU Returns website so that anyone who missed it can view. And when you go to the NYU Returns website, I encourage you to take a moment to check out previous webinars that have already been posted. Please continue to check NYU Returns for the most up-to-date information about the fall 2020 semester. And everyone stay safe and enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you.